Well, about perhaps a couple of days until spring is officially here, and we have a classic spring-like weather situation in the eastern part of the country, both in terms of rain and eventually some of the snow that will be affecting interior areas of the Northeast. Really quite a volatile situation in some parts of the Southeast. In fact, we can focus in on some of that action that's now occurring. Pretty good line of thunderstorms more or less in the northern Mississippi Valley on towards the south, where there are still advisories up for the possibility of a tornado or two overnight. Pretty good line of thunderstorms developing there, and there are some storms also in parts of Alabama. Although this line, as it's moving towards the east, at least the northern extension, does not appear to be quite as potent perhaps as it was a couple of hours ago. Still the storms to the south and southern Alabama holding together pretty nicely, so as we get down towards the Florida Panhandle into Apalachicola and Pensacola, there is a possibility of some pretty strong thunderstorms over the next several hours. This line in the wee hours of the morning may weaken to some extent, but in the Memphis area and Jonesboro, you could have a pretty strong storm or two over the next several hours. National radar shows that line, the area of yellow indicating some strong storms in southern Alabama, and some very heavy rains falling in the Atlanta area. Over 2 inches possible by dawn in this entire area. That rain is working into the Carolinas, up the East Coast, a change over to snow. It's snowing now into parts of eastern Pennsylvania, New York State. However, we're noticing also the wind is becoming a little bit more southeast into the New York City area. And guess what? That may mean a change over to rain after some snow in the city itself, with the heaviest snows confined to areas north and west and into some parts of southern New England. Areas of yellow, again, strong storms, extreme southern Alabama, northeastern Arkansas, and more storms getting up just to the southeast of the Cincinnati, Ohio area. We'll go back to weather computer graphic system, show you the temperatures as they stand at this hour. 37 Boston, 39 New York City, Washington, D.C., 36, and look at the warmth getting up into Raleigh-Durham, 63, Savannah, Charleston, 63, 70s in Florida, southern Texas. They had some severe weather earlier today around through southeastern parts of Texas. We show you the complex low-pressure area. Cold air holding in enough, so we think interior Connecticut, White Plains, New York, Poughkeepsie, perhaps 6 to 12-inch snowfalls. Even there could be a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain before it ends. Things drying out in the high plains. Snows now falling to the west of the Denver area. The mountains picking up 6 to 12 inches overnight. And there are your severe weather warnings up for another, 45 minutes or so, roughly in the southern Mississippi Valley into Memphis. A tornado watch until 10 p.m. local time there, extending to the east into southern Louisiana. So lots of weather action now occurring. And of course, the next 5 days, as we head into the first few days of spring, look active too. Your 5-day outlook with Jeff coming up next.
One rain system after another is in the forecast for the next 5 days. Coming up, we'll show you when the rain moves in.
We interrupt this recession for an important announcement. Payment Protection Plus is here. Buy or lease a new Volkswagen now, and if you incur a layoff within 3 years, we'll cover your car payments, plus your car insurance payments. And you never have to pay us back. Up to $500 a month for up to a full year. Payment Protection Plus, only at your Volkswagen dealers. But hurry, this revolutionary offer from Volkswagen ends March 31st.
Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and test drive their exciting new line of 1992 models.
It's back. The little cold that turns into a miserable cough. This is the cold Triaminic was made for. It stops cold symptoms cold. Treat your child's cold early with the pediatrician's choice, Triaminic. It stops cold symptoms cold.
Look for Triaminic at a fine store near you.
Make the most of your skiing investment. Get detailed regional ski forecasts plus slope conditions at over 400 ski areas worldwide. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
Look at your next 5 days, and we'll start it off with the early morning map on Thursday. Quite a storm system we've got here in the east. As a matter of fact, we're talking about some significant snows up here from northeast Pennsylvania, perhaps from the Pocono Mountains into the northwest hills of New Jersey, and on up into the lower Hudson Valley. Now, right along the immediate coast, it is going to be a very close call. We think there's going to be a lot of moisture available. It just depends on what the temperatures are. The closer to the coast you get, down on Long Island and down around JFK Airport, better chance for rain. Probably starting off as a little bit of sleet and some snow. It may even accumulate an inch or so, but it will probably go to rain there. The farther north you head up toward White Plains, Westchester County, and on up the Hudson River and on up into parts of Connecticut, the better the chance for the snow. And some of the hills in northwest Connecticut could really get nailed. Places like Danbury, Connecticut, and on over toward Monticello, New York, it could get pretty nasty. And maybe on over toward Boston and Providence, too, a pretty nasty time of it. Farther to the south, it will be all rain, we think, and it'll be a pretty wet day from southern Jersey right down along the Delmarva. Some embedded heavier thunderstorms in there. Some light snow trailing back in through western Pennsylvania and Ohio. Some showers on down into Kentucky and Tennessee. That whole mess slowly, and I mean slowly, pulls off the east coast as we head through the day Thursday. Another little shot of cold air trying to work its way into the northern plains. And our system, which has been sitting out here off the west coast for a couple of days now, may finally start to make a move Thursday night and Friday with some rain into southern California. Coldest air up here in New England, and that moisture is going to ride right up over that air. And that's what's going to help with the snow and the sleet and the ice. Here's a look at high temperatures. Very chilly in the northeast. Wintertime is still there. Down in the south, though, fairly mild, but the cold air trying to settle southward just a bit, although it does try to warm up here a little bit over the southern plains by the time Sunday and Monday rolls around. Another little shot of cold air coming south. So as we head into springtime officially on Friday and Saturday, it looks like winter is going to hold on in the northeast as the storm moves away, leaves behind some snow showers. Our system out west finally pulls on shore and then starts to move into the plains, taps some Gulf moisture, and heads into the southeast with another batch of rain here. More snow showers for the northeast. A very active next few days. Well, it's definitely springtime in the south here, Tom, but to the north, I think going to have some winter time.
It's really strange. Like the twilight zone up there, they're going to have, in some cases, more snow than they've had all winter in parts of the northeast. Pretty good snowstorm on the way there, and still the threat of severe weather in the southeast. Your regional forecast is up next.
Not long ago, the fellas over at the country club gave Ed Hensel a little party. You see, in over 40 years, Ed never missed a day at the club. Every afternoon, just after 3, like clockwork, there's Ed. A banker by trade, is a master at knowing just how to fill all that leisure time. Unfortunately, banker's hours may not be your hours when buying a car. So finance your new vehicle with GMAC right at your GM dealership. Nobody knows more about auto financing and leasing. And we don't keep banker's hours.
GMAC, available right at your GM dealer.
The telephone is one of your most important business tools. But on the road, are you always hanging around waiting for messages? Now freedom can be in the palm of your hand because now there's Mobilecom nationwide messaging. It's America's most complete paging service. Mobilecom gives you more coverage coast to coast, customized regional coverage, and text messaging. So don't get hung up waiting on messages. Get Mobilecom nationwide messaging. Just call 1-800-685-5555.
Well, much of the northeast bracing for snow, and in some cases a fair amount of it. The Litchfield Hills northwest of Hartford, Connecticut, Danbury, Trumbull. Well, you're going to be perhaps facing 6 to 12 inches of snow by morning. A change over to rain seems just about assured now for Long Island, and a marginal situation for the city. It looks like an easterly wind is setting up there, and temperatures have been rising. So perhaps after a brief spell of snow and a slushy accumulation, there very well could be a change over to rain. That would hold snowfall amounts down, especially as you move south along the New Jersey coast. The greatest chance of significant snow in a fairly narrow band some 30 miles northwest of the city, including White Plains, Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, and on towards the north and northeast, perhaps into Providence, Rhode Island as well. A rainy night in Georgia, much of that ending by the daybreak hours, then perhaps 1 or 2 thunderstorms developing during the afternoon. We'll see how the unstable air mass may more or less trade off with a westerly wind which would stabilize the atmosphere. We'll see how that works out during the early afternoon, but there is still a chance of a gusty thunderstorm in some areas in the afternoon. Temperatures near 70 as spring weather continues on. Northern Great Plains, more or less seasonable temperatures are slightly above. A few showers in San Diego County. Otherwise, California will enjoy some sunny and warm weather.
Avoid unpleasant surprises when you travel. Watch international weather, accurate weather forecast for Europe at 41 after the hour every day on the Weather Channel.
We've got quite a storm system, not all that unusual for March, but boy, it is really wrapping up. And again, on its northern end, and it's interacting with enough cold air for snow. Lots of Pennsylvania in the snow. Now, Pittsburgh is rain. A little bit farther to the north, though, up around University Park, they have an inch of snow on the ground, about 2 inches on down around Middletown, Pennsylvania, and the snow's just about ready to get into the New York City area. Some big thunderstorms, though, as we head on down here around Jonesboro and Blytheville, Arkansas. We'll watch these generally head to the east. There could be some hail and gusty winds and maybe even an isolated tornado with those storms. As we head farther south, still some big storms near Lufkin. Earlier storms near Beaumont have decreased in intensity, moving through Lake Charles, and another big storm north of Alexandria in Louisiana. A little bit farther on toward the east, we find a fair amount of rain. Looks like it's just about ready to exit the Atlanta area, but plenty of rain down toward Montgomery and all the way from Columbus down toward Dothan in Alabama. Lighter rain up toward Charlotte and Columbia, and then the snow just about ready to get into New York.
is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
A big winter storm is pushing into the Northeast just 2 days before the start of spring. We'll show you the snow forecast and the spring outlook coming up.
Quite a storm system out there this evening. I'm Jeff Marr, alongside is Tom Chisholm. Let's talk about why there's severe weather in the south, or at least the potential, and we have had some reports of severe weather. We've got a lot of warm, dry air, at least at the mid-levels, moving across Texas. We have a very strong jet stream, and that's supplying some of the energy here, and also a lot of Gulf moisture coming in. And again, the threat for severe weather does exist across parts of the Deep South. As a matter of fact, we've already had a report of a tornado Earlier in the day, actually this morning, up in Shelby County, Tennessee, that's not too far away from the Memphis area, actually a suburb. Shingles were blown off some of the houses, trees blown down. Some of the biggest damage and some of the minor injuries occurred when a small tornado hit a campground. One woman inside a travel trailer was knocked around when her trailer was blown over by the tornado. Fortunately, her injuries were minor. Tornado path is about 1.5 miles long, 25 to 50 yards wide. Okay, let's take a look at where the severe weather threat is for this evening and on in through the early morning hours. The darker red shading here, anywhere from parts of Arkansas, West Tennessee, again, maybe around Shelby County, they could get hit again. We'll watch that all the way down into parts of Louisiana. Some big storms north of Alexandria right now, and maybe down along the Gulf Coast, lesser storms, but still fairly potent, perhaps moving up into northern Alabama, eastern Tennessee, and Georgia. There are still a whole plethora of tornado watches out. They all expire at 10 p.m. local time, so we have about another half hour on these watches. They may be reissued. We'll keep you advised, but they do include the New Orleans area, just west of Jackson. Memphis is in one of these watches, down along Mobile and Panama, or Pensacola way, I should say, almost over to Panama City. So watch out for the next hour or two, particularly across the Gulf coastal regions and on up into Arkansas, moving toward West Tennessee. That's where some of the nasty weather will be, we think. And it's all due to this kind of a double-barreled area of low pressure. It's actually one storm system, and this low is going to continue to pull to the northeast. Now, to the south, of course, it's still very warm, and that's why we have the threat for severe weather, the thunderstorms. But to the north, as this moisture heads up into the cold air, well, we've got the threat for some ice and some snow, and we're getting that already as this low pressure area tracks up into the cold air again from just north of New York or right around there, Boston, Providence, right on back over northern counties of Pennsylvania. And it's already been a lot of ice in parts of central and northern Indiana. Well, that's where you're going to have the wintry conditions. Very ironic that we had to wait until the end of the season, because spring officially begins on Friday, that we're finally getting some winter weather. Let's take a look at the satellite picture, and we'll show you the storm. You can see it wrapping up here. You can see the big thunderstorms blowing up here, parts of Arkansas and on up into maybe southern Illinois eventually. Also some big storms. There's the big storm blowing off down there in parts of Louisiana. Look at the national radar. Some big storms trying to move out of East Texas and Louisiana. A lot of rain southern Alabama. And some big storms actually from Kentucky into Ohio. Then as you head on up into northern Pennsylvania, you get into the snow. So we've got one system right now down in Texas. And again, this system's going to probably join up with a northern branch, and the storm will slowly move out to sea by the weekend. But a new system moves into the west coast, and that could probably move into the southeast with another batch of rain by Monday. So a very active weather pattern. We still got this pesky split flow out here. Let's go ahead and take a look at those weather maps. And as we head on through the day Thursday, we'll watch our storm move off the coast. The rain-snow line from around about Hagerstown on up to around New York, maybe Long Island. From there south, it's rain. From there north, snow, and some snow amounts in some of the interior areas of southern New England could get pretty hefty as we head through the day on Thursday. Again, some of the rainfall totals in the south could be several inches of rain. That snow from northeast Pennsylvania and the Poconos into southern New England, the Berkshires, we could be talking a foot of snow in some places. That's more snow than you've seen in some cases all winter. Overnight lows, and there's the afternoon highs. Still fairly mild over the deep south, and we could still see some pretty good thunderstorms down here on Thursday. But it's the snowstorm in the northeast which will probably grab the weather headlines during the day on Thursday. Now by Friday, that storm should be moving away. Some colder air moves in behind it, and, well, can't keep the warm air down this time of the year too long. Some mild air tries to build back by Sunday and on into Monday, too, on up into the plain states. Precipitation-wise, our storm, slow to move away, but it'll probably do that by late Friday. A new storm, though, coming into the picture on the west coast, moving into the Rockies Saturday, and then tapping some Gulf moisture on Sunday and heading east by the early part of next week.
The Weather Channel will be working through the night to keep you up to the minute on the strong storms in the south and the developing winter storm in the north. Stay with us.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Your
Plymouth Laser RS Turbo.
You can talk.
That's not all. 0 to 60, 6.4. You like all-wheel drive?
Well, beautiful.
Don't try this at home.
Plymouth Laser, an intelligent machine.
Can we go for a spin?
Sure.
Your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, proud sponsors of the U.S. Men's and Women's Pro Ski Tour.
The Michelin Drivers Report takes a look at the weather along the nation's major river states. 54 minutes past the hour, every hour on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
How you doing? Good to see you. Hi, ma'am. How you doing? Good to see you there, Beth. Well, hello there. How you doing? How you doing, bud? How you doing? How you doing? You treat people nice, they're going to treat you nice. Come on in, ladies. Hi.
Walmart. Always the low price. Always.
$14.92. Well, now, I mean, it's $19.92 now.
Well, somebody's having a party.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a great celebration somewhere.
Somewhere, maybe on an island.
What island?
On the Caribbean.
Give me a hint,
okay. Where Columbus himself said, all the islands are very beautiful, but this exceeds them all.
Oh, well, of course, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the quincentennial. Oh, I want to be there.
Oh, me too. Call that number, honey.
Hand me the phone, will you,
Sure.
please?
Vacationers Atlas is sponsored by Puerto Rico Tourism. Discover the new old world where this year's celebration begins. Puerto Rico.
It's been called the shining star of the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and what a brilliant mosaic awaits travelers to this Caribbean crossroads. Discovered by Columbus on his second voyage to the New World, Puerto Rico is home to the oldest city in the Americas, Old San Juan. The island boasts a wide assortment of natural attractions as well. El Yunque in the southeast is the only tropical forest in the U.S. National Forest System, while Camway Cavern Park in the west is one of the largest cave systems in the Western Hemisphere. But if you're like most visitors, you'll come for fun in the sun. Puerto Rico boasts of miles of unspoiled sandy beaches, and with average high temperatures in the 80s, even in the winter, the water stays comfortable all year round. The surfing in Puerto Rico is most excellent. In fact, the town of Isabela was the site of last year's World Surfing Championship. But the diving is beyond compare, with visibilities up to 100 feet. Whether you're a land lover or a sea lover, Puerto Rico is a great getaway.
How do you measure success?
Arnold Palmer for Jiffy Lube.
Not just by being the biggest, but by being the best.
45,000 cars a day get our complete 14-point service.
And by giving your best.
The performance, protection, and quality of Pennzoil.
By doing more than people expect of you.
Free fluid refills between services.
And by always being there. At Jiffy Lube, we do your car a great service. Introducing United Airlines' renowned international service to cities throughout Latin America. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Come fly the friendly skies.
The Business Travel Forecast is sponsored by United Airlines, serving cities throughout the U.S. and around the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Hi, Dan Pastorini here from Snow Summit with the Jimmy Huga Mazda Ski Express. For skiing's most accurate forecast, watch Skier's forecast on the Weather Channel.
Call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER. For just 95 cents a minute, you can connect and get the weather for over 900 cities worldwide.
I felt like I never had enough time to have a good, honest workout.
Introducing ProForm 3001 STX, the ultimate low-impact fitness machine.
In the time it takes to drive to the health club, I've finished my workout.
It's like having a professional health club stepper right at home, only without the hassles.
Stair climbing is the quick and easy solution. Just look at me.
And the ProForm 3001 STX is loaded with features found only on professional models costing hundreds of dollars more. Precision-balanced independent stepping action, electronically controlled motorized resistance, self-leveling pedals, full cage handrails, and deluxe cushioned hand grips. You can design your own workout routine in seconds or choose one of 3 pre-programmed routines. And the best feature is the price, just $699 plus heavy-duty freight and insurance. Enjoy all the benefits of good health and fitness now. Call for free information on the ProForm 3001 STX and our convenient payment plan. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
You're watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
dad is not a morning person. You see? But once I get into the shower with Coast, he gets better. The bold whisks in of Coast wakes him up. He likes the ladder, too. He says Coast makes him feel like a whole new man. If it works with my dad, it'll work with anyone.
Coast, the eye-opener.
That's my mom. Here we go again.
Now for the Coast Shower Index, bringing your area's expected precipitation for the month.
Real butter makes holiday parties taste better.
These cookies taste strange. Did you use butter?
No.
No wonder. Butter makes cookies taste better.
You're right. Let's bake a new batch with
butter.
I love real butter cookies.
Real butter makes holiday parties taste even better.
When you receive your pre-approved Discover Card application, sign it.
Oh.
Because you can't earn cash back until you get it back. It pays to Discover.
Well, we definitely have two sides, kind of a, not a Jekyll and Hyde. It's both Mr. Hyde on both of these, both the bad sides of this storm system. We've got, didn't figure that one out, huh, Tom? No, well, neither did I. To the south, we've got, what I was trying to say here is, we've got both sides of the same coin down here. Well, that didn't work either. We've got the severe weather, and we've got the snow up to the north. So we've got both bad sides of the storm system. It just depends on which side you're on. We've had the severe weather over the south. We've had a report of a tornado up in Shelby County earlier in the day on Wednesday, and that did cause a little bit of damage. A little bit farther to the south now, we have some big thunderstorms flaring up in parts of Louisiana, and there are some new severe thunderstorm watches out. This is the area we think we have to watch very closely. Here are the watches which are still out for about another 12 minutes or so, and they extend from near Memphis all the way down through Louisiana and along the Gulf Coast. Now, after the 10 o'clock local time period, then this will be the only watch that will be out, and it is out until 4 a.m. local time, and it's a tornado watch that does include Baton Rouge, all the way down to New Orleans, right along through Mobile, Gulfport, Biloxi, and on over toward Pensacola, Florida. That's the area we'll be watching very closely as we head through the wee hours of the morning. Heavy downpours, gusty winds, maybe some hail with some of these thunderstorms, and possibly tornadoes. Now, we've also, again, got the other bad side of this storm system, and that is the snowy side. And again, great news for the ski areas out in Colorado. Generally light snow, but enough to cause a little bit of a slushy travel mess out here in the central plains and on into the northern Ohio Valley, where there's been some ice mixed in, too. But we're really thinking everything's going to come together from northeast Pennsylvania, the Poconos, on up into the Catskills, maybe the Berkshires, southern New England, from around New York City on north. That is where it's really going to get messy. This is a little bit more of a close-up. The darker purple shaded area, anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of snow are possible. And in many cases, particularly around New York City, that will be more snow than you've seen all winter long, and it's going to be coming on the last official full day of winter time. We'll get into springtime by this weekend. Again, so watch out where the white shaded areas are overnight and where you see the little bit of a pink or purplish shading here on your television. That's where the ice could still be a big problem. There has been a lot of icing, particularly out in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Still snowing during the day Thursday in the northeast, and it takes its time moving away for Thursday night. Then we start to see some moisture moving into the west and into the Rockies once again by the time Thursday night and Friday rolls around as the new system moves in there. All right, back to the forecast we go. And again, the northeast, from around New York City on to the north, that's where you'll have the snow. From, well, midtown Manhattan, down out on Long Island, and down the Jersey Shore, better chance for rain. Not a lot of accumulation there, so it just depends on where you are. That's our best guesstimation right now. Right now, Harrisburg's getting a good amount of snow. That may eventually mix with a little bit of rain, but anywhere south from there, it should be all rain. And plenty of rain in the south, particularly in the Carolinas. Could be some big thunderstorms embedded in here. Down into Florida, too. Not good news for the spring breakers. A little bit of a break here in between, but we could see some big thunderstorms on up into northern Mississippi, Alabama, and perhaps northern Georgia. Farther to the north, kind of a tail end of this whole storm system, bringing a little bit of a wintry mix from St. Louis through Cincinnati, but it shouldn't cause travel problems with temperatures in the 40s. Farther north from there, it should be drying out. Out to the west, we'll finally get some moisture moving down into the LA and San Diego areas as our storm moves inland. Otherwise, a good deal of sunshine.
A few words about Long John Silver's new Adda-Piece.
Add a filet, Ray.
Add some shrimp on the side, Clyde. Add some chicken for my tummy, dummy.
Buy any meal at Long John's and add a piece. Fish for 75 cents, chicken for 65, or shrimp for 35.
Add 'em all!
A great new way to... Now go for 3 delicious shrimp or batter dipped fish plus fries, all just $1.99.
Go fish with Long John Silver's, where America goes for fish.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. A time to relax. A time to get away from it all. Unless the weather catches you by surprise. The Weekend Outlook from the Weather Channel gives you the information you need to decide whether to plan that big ski trip or stick to projects around the house. Every Tuesday through Saturday, our forecasters update you twice an hour so the weekend surprises don't catch you off guard. The Weekend Outlook on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers. Lines of showers and thunderstorms and some steady rain in parts of Georgia and the Carolinas causing some problems for travelers in the south, especially the traveling from roughly Atlanta to Valdosta on Route 75. Some locally heavy rainfall there. The Florida Panhandle, Route 65. Again, the roadways covered by rain, causing some hydroplaning in some cases, and a pretty good line of thunderstorms in extreme northern Arkansas. Lightning and thunder and very heavy downpours getting on towards Memphis over the next several hours. The area of rain quite extensive all the way up into Virginia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and even Philadelphia. There's been a change over to rain, but the threat of severe weather is confined to the Gulf Coast. A new area of severe weather has been issued for the Florida Panhandle and much of the Gulf Coast until 4 a.m. Central Standard Time.
One rain system after another is in the forecast for the next 5 days. Coming up, we'll show you when the rain moves in.
For regional Michelin drivers reports, call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER.
When you have a lot of horses under your hood, shouldn't you have Michelin high-performance tires under your car? Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you because so much is riding on your tires.
Out of the pages of Skiing Magazine and onto the Weather Channel comes Private Lessons. The pros provide skiers tips here daily at 5:09 and 10:09 Eastern. Well, National Radar is showing the rain in the southeast, the severe weather getting close to the Florida Panhandle, and this long line of storms, northeastern Arkansas up into Memphis and off towards the area southeast of Cincinnati and lower Ohio.
The rain changes to snow in a narrow band in northeastern Pennsylvania, snowing around Monticello in New York and Morristown, just inland from Midtown Manhattan. There's an easterly component to the wind there off the water, so the temperature is rising. A change over to rain seems pretty likely now for coastal New Jersey, New York City, and Long Island, so that will keep the snowfall amounts down there. Here's the area of yellow and red, indicating strong storms getting on towards Pensacola, Apalachicola, Jonesboro in Arkansas, again about to receive pretty big thunderstorms, as will Memphis, probably shortly before the midnight hour. And an advancing area of snow into southwestern Connecticut, interior Connecticut, Litchfield Hills, Danbury, even Newburgh in New York, 6 to 12 inches of snowfall possible by morning.
Watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.